So everyone, thanks so much for listening to Fire Breathing Rob on YouTube. If you're listening to us on another platform, I thank you for that. And please subscribe to this podcast. We do all kinds of interviews with amazing people that are doing amazing things in sports, in politics, and other lifestyle issues. So I'm grateful for that. Today we have a person that's from my neck of the woods originally, and he is named Lamont Powell, and he's got an amazing story to tell. He is a boxer, but we're going to talk about something that he went through that was actually tragic, but he has been really resilient throughout that process. So, Lamont, thanks so much for coming on the program. Greatly appreciate your time today.
Thank you, my man, for having us.
All right, so let's talk about this. And also, I'll shout this out for the viewers. If you see the man in the background, that is his grandfather who's been training him since he was a little guy. So he might have something to say on this, and we might ask him to interject. So I'm going to say, Grandpa, thanks so much, you too, for coming on and hearing from us, I should say.
Yeah, no problem.
All right. So let's kick this around. So talking about Rhode Island, we saw a lot of great boxers in Rhode Island, some contenders such as Peter Manfredo Jr. and many champions. We talk about Vinny Paz, Demetrius Andre, Gary Belletto Jr., Chubby Gomez, Peter Manfredo, and Senior and Junior, of course, and Jason Estrada. So with all these people...
Can't forget about Matt Godfrey.
All right, Matt Godfrey too, and there's many more. That's just a few, of course. So with that being said, you're joining that group, with the 7-0 record right now. As
Correct.
far as that goes, first of all, Lamont, what made you want to get involved in boxing from such a young age?
It was just something I picked up when I was basically first started what? Huh?
8 years old.
Started at 8 years old. It was just something I just picked up and something I just stuck with.
If I could get your grandfather's input on this, what did you see in Lamont as a growing boy that you thought hey, this guy's got a chance to be something great?
Yeah. All right. Well, him and his brother came to me one day. I think the teacher told him that they know his uncle Tyrone, and how he should fight pretty good. And so they came to me and they told me they want to go to the gym to learn how to box. I said, okay. I say, now when you go, I said, you're not going to quit now. You're going to keep it up. Now, when Lamont was little, about 8 years old, he was very pigeon-toed. He was clumsy.
Like, I used to fall everywhere over to myself.
Yeah, he used to trip over his own feet, So I really didn't think he was going to be a good boxer. But I thought his brother would be.
He thought my brother was going to be better than I was.
Yeah, so...
Because I was the clumsy one and my brother was like the more neater one.
Yeah. So I took him to the gym. And once I took him to the gym and I started having him doing the boxing stuff, moving around, whatever. And I noticed right away, Lamont was boxing up on his toes, like Muhammad Ali.
More like an athlete. I had more like an athlete tone to my body. I just adapted to things more quicker. I got things more quicker.
And he had quicker hands. His brother was more like a robot. I said, oh my God. I said, I was shocked.
Yeah, my brother was like a robot. He's so stiff.
Yeah.
Like me, I was more flexible. My body was more flexible. I was fast on my toes, fast with my hands.
Yep. So his brother really didn't like it. He couldn't take the training and the hardship that comes along with it, and much stuff there. And I seen that. That's when I saw that he's going to be the better boxer. And so I kept him in there, stuck with him, and trained him for 2 years before I had him do any kind of sparring or anything.
Anything. We was in the gym since 8, 9, 10 into before we did any physical punching and stuff like that. He had me in the gym for 2 years, just working on my basically fundamentals and stuff like that. Just getting my punches all, perfecting my punches and stuff like that. And then after that, we just took off from there. After I hit 10, we started sparring. We entered the competitions and stuff like that. So we just took off from there.
Okay, great. So I do want to ask some questions and keep kicking around with this boxing stuff. So obviously, you're fighting with the promoter, Jimmy Birchfield. And
yeah,
Go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
I'm actually with CS Boxing right now as we speak. This would be my 3rd year coming up with them. So
So how has that worked out? And how did they find you? Was this your grandfather that kind of talked to Jimmy and said, "Hey, this guy could be something great. Why don't you take a look at him?" Or did they approach you guys? Go ahead.
my manager, I actually have a manager,
Mhm.
Roland Estrada, Jason's
Right.
dad. Him and my grandfather work together, and Jimmy Birchfield, they all work together and line up the fights for me.
Okay. So now we're at that you are 7-0, correct?
Correct, buddy.
Oh, okay. So now with COVID going on, obviously everything's in limbo and no one really knows when there's going to be a fight going on. So with that said, Lamont, do you know when there's going to be a next fight, or it's just you're just basically training by yourself, just keeping your
Um,
body in shape? Go ahead.
we got something that we're working on. We got something that we're working on soon. So I just want all my fans and supporters, everybody, to stay tuned. That we are working on something, and we will be dropping a fight date as soon as we know what's going on.
Are we, and I don't want you to give away any details because I know it's still in the works. Are we talking about within the next, 2 or 3 months? Or are we talking about maybe 5 or 6 months down the
Yes,
road?
we're definitely talking about in the next 2 to 3 months.
Okay. Okay.
And I know you guys know I came off a bad accident as well too, so I'm still recovering from that as well.
Right. And I definitely want to kick that around, but I do want to finish off talking about boxing. So as we keep continuing in the boxing, and for people that may have just tuned in rather, this is Lamont Powell. He is a boxer from Rhode
Hello,
Island.
nice to meet you, everybody.
I do want to talk to you about COVID, Lamont. With that said, how has COVID really affected, your boxing plans and training in general? Obviously, as we keep reiterating, yes, there's no fights. Has it affected the training? Are they limiting, like, say, hey, you can only go and train for a couple hours, or there's only so many people that can be in the gym at one time, or you have to wear a mask in the gym? How is all that being worked out with COVID going on?
Luckily for me, I have keys to the gym, so I can actually have access to the gym whenever I, want
Right.
to. So thanks to my coach for that, and thank you for my team for that. And COVID's COVID's actually been a lot terrible. It's been hard, bro, with working, with financial things, So you just really kind of trying to stay focused as much as we can.
So how has COVID, obviously it's affected boxing, you just spoke about that. How has COVID affected your life in general, Lamont?
COVID affected my life. COVID affected my life a lot. I mean, it slowed me down a lot,
Yeah.
I mean, where I could have been is not where I'm at now, you know what I'm saying? Because of the COVID, you know what I'm saying? It slowed me down a lot. I could have been 10-0, 15-0. Now because
Wow.
of COVID, now I got set back a little bit in my career. So now we have to just kind of keep our foot on the gas to get to where we was trying to get to now, because it's set us back a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
So obviously COVID's been going on since March, so we're talking about 7-ish months. So you're saying you missed at least like maybe 8 or 9 fights due to this?
I don't want to say 8 or 9 fights. I'll probably say like around 7 to 6 fights.
Okay. Wow. That's crazy. That is a lot.
6 to 5 fights to be exact.
Wow. Okay. So as we keep going into boxing right now, Lamont, let's talk about this. So, as far as your weight class goes, for people that are just listening to this and don't know much about you, but do want to learn more, can you talk about your weight class and who are the upper caliber boxers in your weight class, as far as, and even champions too, I should say?
Oh, there's a couple of let me see. I'm in the 154 class right now, but due to the accident, I think I might come back 47.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I usually walk around like 160, 165. I fight at 154, but seeing that I just had this accident and I just came back and I was in the hospital, I lost a lot of weight. So my body's very, very skinny right now. So it looks like I could be coming back in the 147 class, and that's going to be a big 147.
Yeah. So let's talk about the accident. Can you go a little bit in depth for the audience that doesn't know what happened?
Yeah, like if you guys don't know me, I like to ride bikes. I like to ride bikes a lot. I love bikes, and in my free time, sometimes when I'm not in the gym, I'll just take my bike out and I'll just go for a ride. Sometime, me and my brother, he owns a bike as well, and this year, this would be my third bike. This would be my third bike riding. This would be my third year riding, and this year I bought a CBR 1000, 2013 CBR 1000, and it was a nice day out. I was just perfectly riding, and I like to ride, so I did a little wheelie, and I came down off the wheelie, and when I came down off the wheelie, the bike lost control, and there was a car that I hit on my left hand side, and yeah, if I would have never had my helmet on off the first impact, I would have died. I would have lost my life.
Jeez.
I
Wow.
was going about 55 miles per hour, 55 to 50 miles per hour. And when I smacked that car pretty hard. And if I didn't have my helmet on, I would have lost my life. And I would have never been able here to tell you guys that story.
Wow. But even before you even go into that, it's crazy that you just had that incident where you almost died, and then this person shot 36 bullets into this car, which you were in with your uncle. And it's almost like magical that you didn't even die in that. With 36 bullets is insane. That's a lot of damn bullets.
Yeah, there's a lot of bullets, man. And it just only tells me there's a purpose for you to be here, and there's a purpose for you to be here. So you should wake up and do what I'm telling you to do. And that's what I did. God told me that you're supposed to be doing this, and this is what I have been doing.
Jeez, crazy. So can you go in depth about what happened that night?
Yeah. I was sitting in front of my grandfather's home, and me and my uncle was just sitting outside. I was on my phone, and we was just having a conversation. And I just seen a car pull up to my mother's house, and when I seen the car pull up to my mom's house, sorry about that.
No, you're good.
When I seen the car pull up to my mom's house, like, I know everybody that lives on my grandfather's street, so it was a car that I wasn't familiar with. So
Okay.
I flipped the high beams on my car to see if I could see in the front windshield, because the front windshield was tinted. It had tinted windows, so I couldn't see. So by the time then, when they see me hit the high beams, they noticed that somebody was in the car. And when they noticed that I was in the car, they actually reversed back out, and they pulled to the front of my house. When they pulled to the front of my house, I seen like the brake lights reflecting off the fence of my house. I seen the red light reflecting off the fence, the metal fence. So when I seen the brake lights reflecting, I turned on my car immediately, and I put my foot on the brake. I sensed something, obviously. And when I put my car on, when I started my car and I put my foot on the brake, I just seen two kids with hoodies come walking up the side of my lawn. And my uncle was like, "Who is these kids?" And I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't pay him no mind. I just went back down to look on my phone." My uncle's watching them the whole time. And then as I get a little bit closer, my uncle's like, "Who's these kids?" And then all you just seen was both of their hands raised, and then all I seen was fire after that. And I just I just try to get myself up out of the situation the best way I can.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to, get anybody into religion, but if you don't believe in God after something like that, I don't know, man. There's
I always believed in God. This man right here on the side of me, he's big with God. And ever since I've been around him, he started bringing us to church, me and my brother. So God's always been in my life.
Right. That's incredible. 36 bullets and it didn't hit one hit you. One hit your uncle in the shoulder or the leg?
Yeah, no, one hit my uncle in the leg.
Okay.
As the first shots went off, I seen fire, and then my uncle reached over to my leg, and he's like pushing on my leg, like go, 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 go. And when he reached over, he put my car in neutral. When he put my car in neutral, I smacked it back in drive. And when he took off, he's asking me, "Am I hit? Am I hurt? Am I hurt?" I'm like, "No, I'm okay." And then I checked if he was shot, and then I just got him to the hospital immediately as fast as I can.
God.
And certain situations like that, my guardian angel, God, believing in God and religions and stuff like that, my mom is always with me every step of the way. So that's what I really believe in. My mom's always by my shoulder. And, you know, as long as you do the right things in life, then you have a purpose to be here and nothing else. Your God will protect you in every way that he's supposed to.
That was an incredible story, and thank God that you are safe in general and you're still alive after that insanity. Did
That
they?
insanity, and then another one that just happened with the motorcycle
With the
accident.
motorcycle, yeah, of
I
course.
could have easily lost my life with that off of the first impact. As soon as I would have first hit the car, and you know, my helmet came off. I have, as you guys can see, I have scars right here on my eye. I have stitches on my eye. I have a scar. I have stitches here. My ear got ripped open. I have another scar here. I have a whole bunch of scars on my body. So.
Well, at least you're still alive, and that's the main thing. Lamont, I want to ask you this though. Uh, when all that happened, did they find who that was that shot in at the car? Did the police find it, or anybody see who that was?
No, still to this day, they don't. I
Wow,
guess.
jeez, that's crazy. I can't believe that no, they didn't get anybody. But anyway, well, thank you for telling that story to the viewers. I just have a few more questions. And again, for the people that just started listening, this is Lamont Powell. He is a Rhode Island boxer. And
Hello, everybody. Nice to meet you guys.
I do want to talk about the foundation too in just a second. With but as we go into that, sorry, that story just kind of got me a little messed up because it's really sad. I do want to talk.
Behind all of that, I lost
Yeah.
my mom when I was 3, and this guy and my grandmother been there in my life ever since. So I had it pretty rough growing up, man.
Yeah. Well, at least your grandfather was always there, and he seems like a great
Always there.
guy
One phone
since we've
call away.
talked.
One phone call away. He's right there, man. So
That's great. And he seems like a great guy because we talked a lot before this started. And I'm grateful that we got a nice conversation in. So we'll move on to the last few questions. So, and you did talk about this, but maybe you want to add a little bit more as with, like I said, with the last few questions, Lamont. Do you think anything with the situation now with the bike and also the situation with the 36 bullets that were shot inside that car? And you came away scot-free in the first incident with the bullets. And you did get a little messed up, but nothing too insane where obviously, like you said, you could have died with the second incident. Any new perspective on life that you have as far as, going through all these?
There's a whole new perspective I look at life now, man. I don't take things for granted. I don't take things like easy. Everything I do now has a purpose behind it, and it's something I'm doing and something I'm trying to get to.
Yeah. So let's kick this around with the foundation. What made you want to start the foundation? Was it duly because of this accident that happened as far as, these people, whoever they are, that shot all these bullets into that car and could have killed you?
The foundation, yeah, definitely was that. It definitely was that, but more of a streets thing, like kids, they just have, whenever they don't have nothing to do with their time, they just turn to the streets. So that's why I basically came out with the program. It was me and a friend. So one day we was at the DMV and we was both sitting and we just started conversating. Like he was into his business. He had this is Ramon, and he's a business partner for me. And whatever I need him to do financially, paperwork or anything like that, I just reach out to him and he'll get it done for me. So I just want to thank him and appreciate him for the support he gives me. And back to what I was saying. So the program, Gloves Up, Guns Down. We was at the DMV one day and we just started talking. And he's like, yo, I got shot at myself. And I guess he had heard about my incident. He's like, he got shot at. And he got shot how many times in his head?
I think a couple of times, he said.
He got shot
Wow.
certain amount of times in his head. And that's when we just reached out to each other and came up with the name Gloves Up, Guns Down, and we actually just took off with the business idea from there.
So I think we're somewhat around the same age, Lamont. With that said, you've grown up in Providence. I've grown up not that far away. With that, do you feel like Providence has gotten worse or better as far as, on the streets? I hear a lot of stuff. And
Providence has got worse. It's easy for these kids to get guns. There's just guns everywhere. There's more and more shootings every day. There's more and more people's lives in harm's way now. You know what I'm saying? So it's just bad. It's getting bad. It's not getting better out here. The only way it's going to get better is if you have people like me trying to do something for the community. And what you don't have more people like me trying to do something for the community. I mean, me and Ramon is probably like one of the few out here trying to do something for the community. Not saying that we are the only ones, but in my eyes of right now, I'm the only one that's seeing it.
Are we talking about gangs? Or are you talking about just the access of guns?
The access of guns, really.
Okay. So it's not anything to do with any kind of gangs, then you're saying, pretty much.
And it has to do stuff with gangs. This gang doesn't like this gang. This gang is from this side. This gang is from this side. But it's all irrelevant. It's all pointless things. There should be no reason for this person to take this person's life because this person is from this side.
What advice would you give to young kids that are living in Providence or even different areas of Rhode Island that are on the streets but want to get out of that kind of lifestyle? What advice would you give to them?
Hey, this is Lamont Powell. Said Lamont Powell. Do something with your time. Find something with your time. Do something that you love to do. It doesn't have to be boxing. It could be anything. Just find something and put your time in something that you love to do. Something positive. That's it.
I agree 100%. So as we end the interview, can you tell the viewers, Lamont, where they can find more about you, social media, or if you have any kind of... Go ahead, sorry.
I got you, my man. I got you guys with all my social media platforms. I got you with my... this is going to be my Facebook. You can find me on Facebook at Lamont Powell. And my Instagram, you can find me at Lamont Powell 1. I want you guys to all follow me there. And my Snapchat would be YOUNG_legend150, young_legend150. And that's all I have for my platforms for Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. And I also have my business account, which is Gloves Up, Guns Down. You can follow us there too on Facebook.
Yeah, so definitely look out for that foundation, Lamount. This is Lamont Powell. Thanks so much for your time. I would definitely put all that information in the description box. We'll definitely have you on again because I think you have a lot to say, especially about helping these kids to make sure they make the right decisions and become great people in general throughout their lives.
If anybody has any questions, they can feel free to reach out to me at Lamont Powell. Any of my platform, my social medias, you guys have them. So you guys can contact me on there, buddy.